to a lot of you. I'm on my way to the chalet. I like saying that, the chalet. It's a house in New Hampshire. They call it a chalet. It's got the little overhangs. It's cute. You know, that makes them cute, but it's a house. It's just a house. But it has a fire pit and a hot tub, and I'm more excited over that fire pit. In my back, well, not my back seat, on the floor behind my seat, same thing. I've got peanut butter cups, marshmallow fluff, and bags of marshmallow, and the things to stick them in the fire. When I checked Google Maps the other day, when my daughter-in-law first said, hey, let's do this, it said it's about an hour and a half away from me. So when I put it in my maps on my car a little while ago, it says 3 hours. I know it depends on traffic at the time, but I was kind of planning on the 2.5. It doesn't matter. I left him plenty of time to still get there earlier, a little earlier than check-in, because I can go around, look through the shops, or sit in a coffee shop with my book. I just rather get there a little early than later. And you never know what I might run into for traffic. And weather. The weather app wasn't calling for anything particular. We're in a heat wave back where I'm coming from, but where I'm driving to is going to be 70 today and in the 60s tomorrow and the next day. So a big difference. It got really strange at home. All of a sudden, it got really dark in my apartment, and I looked out the window. It was very cloudy and overcast. This is going to sound funny, but you could actually almost see the air. You could see it wasn't clear. It was kind of fuzzy. And it almost had a yellowish green tinge to it that you question your sanity, like, am I seeing right? It was really bizarre. So I checked the weather app thinking there's going to be a warning for something. Nothing. So I don't know. I left my air conditioner on for Molly, for my cat, and later this evening my friend is going to be showing up there, so Molly will be fine. But yeah, that was bizarre. It looked almost like either fun weather was coming my way or kind of dangerous. We get tornado warnings these days. We never used to. But no, nothing. Okay. I'm heading into 60 degrees, 60 in the 60s, so I'm happy. I got my hoodie in the back in case I need it. So I got a 3-hour drive ahead of me. What do I have now? I don't know. I can't see it behind my phone. I'm going to turn my phone back that way when I'm done talking to you. I got water with me in the car. So I just wanted to kind of check in and say, hey, I'm on my way. I'm excited. I'll video what I can. I'm not sure how much I'll be able to video. We're all in the same house. My kids, my grandkids and everything. So I kind of want to just, like show you the house. So I'll try to do that. I'll just tell them, get out of the way, I'm showing the house. I could just do it, blank their faces out or something, I don't know. I'll figure it out. And I don't know what we're doing up there aside from that. I will video whatever we do of what I can, like I usually do, little clips or something. If I can't, then I'll tell you all about it later when I get back. I usually manage something though. I am still reading Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone.
There's construction ahead.
Because I didn't get to read yesterday like I was hoping, but I was busier than I thought I'd be. I had to get stuff done before I was going to be gone for 3 days. Well, 2 nights, 3 days, 2 nights. I'll, going back Friday. So I did bring my book with me though. I don't know how much reading I'll get done, but I've got it with me. So even if I can get a little in here and there, or read a chapter when I go to bed or something, because I'm almost done with it. I could have had it finished yesterday if I had time to read. Excuse me. Oh, I didn't bring my mic. I was going to bring my mic. Oh, that's all right. Okay. Well, I'm going because I don't have anything else to say, but I've got a couple of hours in front of me, so if I think of anything, or I just get bored and want to chat, I'll be back. Well, I'm sort of here. The house isn't ready yet. I'm a half hour early. They said that they might be done early, but check-in technically is 3 o'clock. The kids are at some arcade and they said, hey, meet us here, but they're 20 minutes away. And I'm like, forget it. By the time I get there, you guys will be heading back here. So I'll go to Dunkin' Donuts. There's a Dunkin' Donuts 4 minutes away, according to my GPS. So I'll just go there and get myself a cup of tea. Maybe a sandwich. It's 2 o'clock, it's past lunch. Okay, so I put in the GPS for the nearest Dunkin' Donuts to me, which is 4 minutes. It brought me to Storyland. I looked around. There's no Dunkin' Donuts there. What? GPS. I've had some wacky things happen with GPS, but it's never let me down to the point that something just isn't there. So I decided to drive just a little further to see what I could see, because I know there's stuff around. There's a Dairy Queen. I'm sitting in the parking lot now, so I figure I'll go in there. But I was going to grab a cup of tea. I could get a burger or a sandwich or something. Maybe I'll get a Blizzard. I haven't had a Blizzard in ages. Anyway, I did make it. Technically, I'm here. I had a Blizzard, a peanut butter cup Blizzard, and the lady gave me extra peanut butter cups and whipped cream. Not the healthiest lunch I've ever eaten, but to be honest, not the worst either. So the kids messaged me. They're at the house. The house is ready. So I'm going. I don't even know if I should have started any of these videos. Like, I don't know if I'm really going to be recording, but then I'm not sure. This is a little different for me. I've never stayed like at a house, at an Airbnb with the kids. Usually it's hotel rooms, and it's set up different. So I'm not really sure about this. But I'm going to start these videos just in case. Okay, my son reminded me. It's been a couple of years since, actually more like a few years since I've been to Storyland. There is a Dunkin' Donuts in Storyland. But your GPS still shouldn't send you there. I'm not paying to get into Storyland to go to Dunkin' Donuts, so it shouldn't count. So the kids went to the grocery store to grab some stuff because we're going to cook out on the grill. And I'm sitting out here. There's a breeze. It's gorgeous. I'm in the middle of the woods. Well, I'm sitting, I happen to look up, and there is a nest on one of the fans. Let me show you. I don't know if you'll be able to see it really well, but let me show you. It's right up on that fan. Let's see, how close can I get? Wait a minute, maybe I can get closer. Yeah, see that? It's a nest. I don't know if they're still using it, but it might be. I'm going to leave it alone, of course, but I won't disturb whatever's there. I don't hear anything, but I don't know. I just thought it was cool. Here's a better angle of that bird nest. I don't think they're using it. I think it's abandoned. But another bird could come and use it. They do that. Okay, let me show you the house. I'm already inside, but here's the front door. And there's a furniture on the porch. And the fire pit is down there. See? And then you come in the door, and this is the kitchen. That noise is the Keurig. I'm making myself a cup of tea. This is all our stuff we brought. And that's the kitchen. I'm really sure you guessed that. And it's got this counter. And the living room area with fireplace and the TV. And there's the table. And then we got the sunroom. I'm going to sit in here with my tea and read. The kids went to the arcade, and I'm tired. This is the next day. So I'm going to stay here because they're only going for about an hour. So, you know. And in here, this is the laundry. And that's one of the bathrooms. They left the light on. And the shower. That just has a stand-up shower. And this is their bedroom with a fireplace. And it's got bunk beds, and then it also has another tiny bedroom in there. So them and the kids are all in here. And this right here is my room. Try not to move quickly. I don't want to make you dizzy. And my bathroom. I get my own bathroom. Hi. And this has a, I like the glass. I forget what they call that, but I like it. So that's it. That's where we're staying. It's nice. And oh, the hot tub. I forgot to show you the hot tub. It's right out there. There's a door from their bedroom that goes to it. And then also you go out, what side is it? The door here off of there, and that just goes to it too. So yeah, we got here yesterday. Whoops, this is my finger in the way. And we used the fire pit. We had a little trouble getting it going at first because it had rained the day before. They had severe thunderstorms the night before, and the wood was still damp, some of it. Then after that, we found some inside, so it was dry, and we got it going. Yeah, that's it. I just wanted to show you the house. I have some stuff to tell you, and I'll tell you all about it in the car on my way home. It'll give me something to talk about.
I'll record her while they're in the house.
I was wondering what you said to me.
Although Ellie took a picture of us in the car and I record her, so I sent it over.
That's funny.
I love that. I'm not even going to try to record in there. Okay, if I had a yard, I would totally buy these.
Oh, yeah?
Look at those. It's so cool.
Yeah.
That is so cool. If I had a yard, I would put that in there. I mean, I could put on my patio, but...
That's cool.
I love these birdhouses. Oh, now this is great. Look, there's the birdhouse, and then you can put bird food in there, or I don't know, water or something.
Probably water.
Yeah, especially when it's hot out. Oh, I like that. Mushrooms.
That one I like is 130. That one, the one that's like really close to 170.
I bought a couple of things at the gift shop. I'll show you the rest later, but I wanted to show you these right now. Slippers. Cat mom. I had to get something. These floors are so cold, my feet were cramping up. I love my kids and I'm having fun. But they've gone to the arcade. I forget what for. They went back specifically to try to win something. I don't remember what the heck they were talking about. And I'm sitting here in this house by myself in this nice comfy chair that rocks and swivels and is like kind of oversized, you know. And I'm reading my book and I got my tea and I got a couple of cookies here, and I've got, look, it's like all windows. Like I've got windows, and we've got a storm coming, and it's getting very windy out, and I'm watching through all these windows with my, I'm like, I'm having the best time this weekend right now. What does that say about me? Oh, I just wanted to hop on and say hey. I was going to video the s'mores thing, but by the time we got the fire going, there was a thunderstorm the night before, and the wood was still damp. And it took us a while to get the fire going. I say us. That was actually my son. I was supervising. And by the time we got it going, the kids did a couple, and then they were tired, so they came in. We did enjoy the fire pit, but that was just us adults sitting out there and enjoying it, just chatting and stuff. And then we figured, no problem. We'll do the s'mores tomorrow. We'll get an earlier start. The wood will be dry. And we got a storm coming in. So I think we're going to be bringing home a lot of peanut butter cups, Hershey bars, and marshmallows. They won't go to waste. Everyone will eat them. We get the grandkids. It's not like they'll go to waste, but yeah, I don't think I'm going to have any video footage of s'mores being made. But I'm having a good time, and I'm enjoying. I'm having fun with the kids. It was fun to go to the gift shops and do stuff, but I'm really enjoying now just relaxing here. 'Cause I didn't sleep well tonight. I didn't sleep well last night, which I'll talk about in the car on the way home. I don't want to talk about it sitting here in the house, especially alone. I don't know. I don't want to verbalize it. Yeah. We'll talk. Okay. I didn't get to talk to you in the car like I was going to. I had a grandchild in the car. I probably could have recorded anyway, but she fell asleep. Seriously, this child falls asleep as soon as the car starts moving. She has always done that, and she still does. And she slept most of the way there. I probably could have still talked and made the video, but I didn't want to take any chances. Let her sleep. So here I am. I'm going to show you what I bought at the gift shop. But before I do that, I have a story to tell you. One of my clips, hopefully you can hear me okay. I've got my mic on, but it's kind of humid. I got my patio door open, not humid enough to run the air conditioner, but so you might hear some traffic. My glasses are glaring. They don't glare if I do this. I look down. But now I kind of look creepy, like I'm looking down and looking up at you like, we'll deal with the glare. That's when I used to wear contact lenses, and that's where contact lenses would come in handy. But we'll deal with the glare. I'm going off topic. I think this is about a half hour, about 22 minutes, and then I'm going to add this, and then I'll upload it. I also have one I started for the book I'm reading. I was going to put them together, but I think I'll do them separate. So anyway, I hem and hawed over even talking about this only because, well, on this channel, if you go looking for it, you're not going to find it. But anybody who's been watching me for a while, if you watched my older channel, the one that I hate to say, well, the one that I deleted because it wasn't on purpose. And I still think there's shenanigans there, but probably not. It was probably a me issue, but whatever. Anyway, Some of you who were watching that channel may remember about 3 years ago, I went to Carver Inn with my kids. It's in Plymouth, Massachusetts. Yeah, it's in Plymouth. I'm thinking, is it Plymouth? No, it's Plymouth. And it is known for having haunted rooms. Doesn't matter if you believe in that stuff or not. I know some of you are going to be like really into it. You really believe in that stuff. And then there's some of you that's going to be like, sure. I know that. But the fact is, it is known for that, certain rooms. When we went, I did not know that at the time. That's important because sometimes you might see something. The human mind is a very complicated thing. You don't need to be a scientist to know that. I think we all pretty much know that. And, sometimes you're going to see something that isn't there because, one, you want to, or because you're actually afraid you're going to. So you're so afraid that you're looking for it, and then every little thing's looking. You know what I mean? I had no idea, so there was nothing on my mind. I had no thoughts on the subject. I was with Erico at the time. It was me and Erico was in a room, and then my 2 sets of son and daughter-in-laws and grandkids each had their rooms, and we were all in a row. Bum, bum, bum. I woke up in the middle of the night. Some of you might remember this. And I was hearing scratching. Not scratching like scratching like a pen. You know the ink pens or quill, on paper. It was that sound. And I looked over, excuse me, and I looked over at the desk, and there was something sitting at the desk. I say something. It was a person. I think it was a man just because the size, but you never know. I could be wrong. But it looked to me like a man, even though I couldn't see a person. Like I'm looking at me right now on the camera. Like it was the only way to describe it is to say black and smoky, but that totally gives the wrong impression. But it was just the room was dark. And it was the same kind of dark but different, but you could see the difference. I'm not doing a good job. I'm not going to try. And I watched it. And I was wishing I had my phone, but my phone was plugged in on the desk. And I wasn't going to walk over there and say, "Excuse me, I need to grab my phone so I can video you." I'm not even sure if it would have showed up on my phone. I don't know. The first thing I thought of was my phone, but like I said, I wasn't going to go get it. Erico was asleep. He stood up, not Erico, the apparition, whatever, stood up and walked past my bed, at the foot of the bed, and out the door. And it did seem to kind of look at us, but then just keep walking. At that point, I woke Erico up. He wanted to go sleep in the car. He was like out of there, no part of it. But he didn't end up sleeping in the car because I wouldn't go out there. It was freezing. It was the middle of winter. I wasn't going out there. So I did videotape, obviously not that, but I did make a video of it the next morning and talk about it and everything on my YouTube channel. So it is because of that I hesitate to tell you about this, because I'm self-conscious and I feel like I'm one of those people that finds the things everywhere, or that thinks everything's a ghost and supernatural and, oh, look at this, and I am not. Some of you have been with me for like 10, 11 years since my loom knitting channel, so I don't, do that constantly. But after that happened, when we were checking out, I wasn't going to say anything. you know, but Erica was like telling the woman at the desk all about it. And she says, oh, yeah, excuse me. Oh, yeah. The worst room is, I forget the room number, but it was the one right across from us. And she said that we only use that room when everything else is already booked, unless someone specifically wants it. So it is a known thing. It wasn't just me having too much to drink, which I don't even think I had anything to drink that day. I don't usually when I'm out with the kids. And at that point, after that, of course, I Googled it and I like read all about it. And yeah, it's a thing. And they've had various ghost hunting people in there and everything. Yeah, so I said, well, I told her what happened exactly. I just, and I said, you can add that to your records if you're keeping any records. And the other woman there said, yeah, we are. And she was going to take note of that. So it really was a thing. We did go back there. The kids go back almost every year. And I did go back with them. Without Erico, he won't go back. Because, well, we're not seeing each other now anyways. But the point is, he wouldn't go back. He's like, and I did. And we got a different room on kind of the other end of the building. Honestly, I didn't specifically ask for one, but we just happened to get that. And there was nothing. So it is definitely those couple of rooms. Yeah, so if you are a person who looks for that stuff and you travel around and everything, Carver Inn in Plymouth, Massachusetts. Ask the lady at the desk. She'll tell you which rooms. Anyways, like I said, it's because of that I hesitate to tell you this. But here we go. First, I want to insert a clip right here that I took because I want you to see that the lock on my bedroom door is a perfectly easy lock. It's just a push button. It doesn't take any strength or anything, but at the same time, it's not one of those little ones that you can go poof and it's going to do it. You know what I mean? I'm going to slip it in right here, so pay attention. Okay, guys, this is the lock on my bedroom door. Listen, you see? You got to really push it, and it's a click. This is going to be important later. See that? I'm going to tell you about what happened on my way home in the car. But just remember that. Okay? Okay. The first night we were there, we came in from the fire. We had the fire going, and we were just sitting out there and chatting and just enjoying the evening. That's another story, but I'll tell you that one after. Excuse me. I should have grabbed a drink. So we came in, and I was going to go get in my pajamas, and my bedroom door was shut. And I tried to open it. It was locked, and nobody was inside. Now, you can click the lock and close it, and it would be locked. So you can do that. Why would you? I don't know, but you can. But anyway, so we asked the kids, "Who did anybody close my door?" No one closed my door. They were like looking at us like, "Why would I close your door?" Which makes sense. Why would they close my door? So we thought we were going to have to call the guy who owns the house. But the lock it's one of those ones with a little tiny hole in the front. And my son found a wooden, what do you call those? You put meat on them, the skewers, and it fit in there. So we were able to open the door. But here's the thing. When we first walked in, it didn't look like the door was closed. We didn't notice that the door was closed, but that's a tough call. One thing I like to do whenever anything weird happens, it's like what scientists do. When a scientist discovers something big and important, any kind of scientist, planets, astrology, you know what I mean, medicine, any kind of science, any scientists out there, you back me up. The first thing they do is try to disprove it. They don't discover a cure for something, say. That's big, that's important, and say, "Oop, look what I did. Awesome, line up." They have to make sure that that really is, that it's going to be consistently working. It wasn't a fluke. They weren't imagining things, or maybe they did something different that they forgot. So the first thing they do is try, them and their colleagues help, and they work to disprove it. That way, if they can't, now they know it's real. And I've always done that. Question it. Yeah, but it could be this, it could be that. It could, you know what I mean? I did that with Kava Inn until the woman said to me, no, no. Okay. All right, then it probably is or was. So, so I don't want to say, no, that door was open, because was it? And I just didn't notice. But then the other side of me is like, I didn't see anything different when I came in. And I would think I would have noticed. But that's a gray area there. But I just wanted to throw it out there just as a thought, because I swear it wasn't, but then it was. You saw how the kitchen looks. I was at the other end of the counter, and my son was standing at the side of the counter where the bedrooms are, right here on his left. He heard something, and just as he looked over, he heard the door lock. He heard that click. That's why I took that video for you. It's important for you to hear that. That's a distinct click, and it's not a, oh, do you hear it? No, that was he heard that door lock. So, okay, we opened the door, and it was cold in that room. It wasn't before, and it was cold. It was damn cold. It had I want to say a frost to it, but it wasn't frosty. I don't want to mislead you, but it was cold. It was colder than that room should have been, and it wasn't before, and none of the other rooms were. And it's not like, some houses, especially old ones, if a room is like way at the house I grew up in, my bedroom was at the end of the hall, not clustered around the other bedrooms, and it was always cold. It was a very old house, and it was kind of separate, even though it did have its own register from the heater. So that it was just always cold. So some houses are like that. This bedroom, you can look back at the video if you want. It's right there. One bedroom, my bedroom. And it was cold. So I don't know. It was creepy. I was uneasy. And anybody who really knows me, that doesn't happen that easily. But there was something I just felt kind of unsettling. I slept in that room anyway, yet the whole time I laid in there, I considered going out to the couch. But I didn't. I did put one of the stools, you notice in front of the counter there were those stools. I did put one in front of the door, and I did sleep with the door open. And it's interesting because that was the only time that happened. And the next night, the room wasn't cold. It was normal cold. That was a cold house to begin with. The floors were, oh my God, the floors were cold. But it wasn't that kind of cold like it was that first night. So I don't know what that was. I never will. But I just thought it was a fun little story to tell you. Vlog fodder. So yeah, that was kind of interesting. And I can sit here and dispel this and that and the breeze, even though my windows were closed, there was no breeze. I can try to find all those little typical things that you would, but it was a little bizarre. So, yeah. I did sleep a little better the next night because I was exhausted. I didn't sleep that night. I thought I would take a nap during the day, but I ended up reading my book and just didn't. Even though I was tired, but I didn't fall asleep. Um, but I was alone in the house. The kids went out. I wouldn't wouldn't fall asleep probably. Nothing happened that day. I was there alone reading. Um, I heard a couple of sounds, but those were sounds that could be typical in a house when you're alone. I grew up in an old house and you heard all kinds of things. Everything creaked. So, and I do think some of it, what I may have heard outside that day, I believe might have been the bear. I'm coming to that story. Um, so yeah, just wanted to tell you about that just for the sake of telling you. So that was interesting. But like I said, I hesitate to only because I had an encounter 3 years ago, and I feel like I'm going to look like I tell ghost stories. Well, I don't know. The first one though is documented. It's a real deal. This was just, I don't know. Anyway, tell you about the beer. Then I'm going to show you my stuff and stop this. What is it? 18 minutes. This is going to be almost an hour long video. Um, I have done little clips while I was reading my book, so I'm going to put that up separate, probably tomorrow, or sometime during the week if I don't get to it. I'm going blueberry picking tomorrow. So the kids came out. I got a little clip of the fire. I actually put it somewhere along. Well, actually, I think it's right before this video. I can see it on my bar. I'm using my webcam and my Filmora to record this. And it's cloudy out. We're going to have rain, so this may not be the best video, the best quality. I notice sometimes, even with Filmora, and Filmora is really good, but almost with any editing software, I think I don't think it's the software. I think it's the webcam. Sometimes depending on the lighting, doesn't look as good as others. But I use it in a pinch. I could have put my phone up here. Anyway, the kids got a couple of s'mores done. Seriously, they weren't that impressed with the s'mores. I was all excited over the s'mores. They really didn't care. They got a couple done. It wasn't as fun as we anticipated. And the peanut butter cup idea, that's a real pain in the butt. They do taste good, but I don't know if it just wasn't worth the effort. It was, you know what I mean? Maybe it was us. Maybe we were doing it wrong. I just enjoyed toasting the marshmallows. The kids liked the graham cracker crust and stuff. They did that a couple. I was helping them. I really couldn't just stop and record it like I wanted to. And we didn't do that much of it. So the kids went in and had their showers and, getting settled and stuff. And the grown-ups were sitting around the fire. And then my daughter-in-law went in to make sure the kids were actually doing what they're supposed to do. And she wanted to take her shower. And then it was just me and my son. And we're just sitting there chatting. We were pretty much done. He could have just poured water on it, but the fire was going so good. And then it started dying down. And the embers, oh my goodness, we were wishing we had a nice thick steak we could have thrown on there. What a waste. We should have thought of that. When you're done with the fire, the end, and you got that's when you want to throw food on there. I have to remember that and try to remember and bring something next time we do something like this. But anyways, that's off topic. So we're sitting there and we're just chatting away. And we can hear in the woods in front of us little things, probably little animals. But we're paying attention because, you're in the middle of the woods, we're in the mountain, there are bears, you never know. Pay attention, always be alert. But whatever that was we were hearing in front of us, even though it got us to know we need to listen, there's no way anything of size was making that kind of sound. The little branches crackings and stuff. It was definitely something small. Okay, but we took note of it. And we're chatting away. All of a sudden, in the woods behind us, because we're surrounded, when we get this little dirt road that takes us out, and there's only 2 houses on that road, and they're quite a ways away. And there were no people there. I don't know if they rent those out too and just no one was there. I don't know. But how do I describe it? I wish I could have just kind of recorded it for you. And I don't even want to say this. It's going to sound like I'm exaggerating. Whatever it was, we never actually saw it, although we may have seen it and not known we saw it, because out there, there's no lights. It's pitch dark. When it gets dark, it's almost like being in a blizzard. You can get disorientated and not even know what direction you're walking in. It's that black. You can't see the hand in front of your face. There's no street lights, nothing, just shh. The only bit of help, which of course we would know which direction to run, is that the lights are on in the house, so you could see what direction there. But for us to like look in the woods or something, we weren't going to see anything. And the bears there are black. So we could have been looking right at a bear and not even known it. So I can't say I didn't see the bear. I didn't see the bear, but I could have been looking at the bear. You know what I mean. And the fire had died down enough that it was just the embers, so it wasn't actually creating any light. You could just see the embers there on the bottom of the thing. Anyway, I'm just kind of giving you the what it was like where we were. In the woods behind us, we heard a snap. The only way I can describe it, and it's going to sound like I'm exaggerating. I'm so self-conscious over this because I don't exaggerate. I do my best to be accurate. But you know how in some movies, usually scary movies, when Bigfoot or something big is coming at you, and in the woods you will hear a crack, a big crack, like a tree or a big branch, and kind of that like something big cracked it and stepped on it, or stepped on a big branch on the ground and stepped on it, and you could hear the thud and the crack. That sound that happened right behind us. There was us, the little driveway with the cars, and then the woods behind us. No mistake. It was loud. And whatever did that was bigger than a human, or I should say heavier than a human at least. It wasn't just a person. There's no way that was just a person behind us. And if there was, that's something to worry about too. Like, what the hell was a person behind us? Because of where we were, there shouldn't be a person there. Gesundheit. That was my cat sneezing. So of course, it had to have been a bear. They have bears there. There was nothing else it could be. Neither one of us said a word. We both stood up and headed for the door. I hesitated only for a second to turn around to make sure that my son was actually coming, that he was actually behind me. And he's like, keep going. Don't stop, don't hesitate, keep going. And we just kept going. We went in the house. And then he decided he better put water on the fire to put it out. So I stood on the porch with a flashlight. Well, he went out there with a bucket, and I scanned around the woods and stuff to make sure if the bear was going to show itself, at least we would see it. Well, he had time to get from the fire to the porch and not be surprised, because it was just that dark. And like I said, black bears, which I didn't see anything. He put the fire out. We were done there for the night. But the next morning, the landlord sent a text to my daughter-in-law just to remind her, make sure that you keep the bungee cord and stuff locked tight on the trash barrel, because the bear does come around every day and get in the trash. So I Googled it after that. I wanted a little more info. Do bears come out during the day, or are they typically at night? Like, what is their habit? Bears who live near people do have a schedule. and they adjust their schedule, they adjust their meals schedule according to the humans they live around. That they actually know, they learn when there's going to be food at this house, where it is, and they have their schedule. He was probably making his rounds. I don't know. But all is good. No one was attacked by a bear, but that was scary. We were like, we weren't going to mess with it. The second day, that was the first night. I think I'm messing up my nights. That was the first night. And then the second night, we did light the fire again. And we were sitting out there, and I had my ears open. I was like looking around. I said to my son, I'm sorry, maybe I'm just a city slicker, but I find it unnerving just sitting here knowing there's a bear probably watching us. I ended up going in the house. I'm like, I just can't do this. Oh my goodness. So we went to the covered bridge gift shop. It is a covered bridge, but you can't just drive through it. One end of it, it was closed off, and one end of it was turned into a gift shop. You will have already seen the video of that. And I got a couple of things. I got a pair of slippers because my feet were cramping up my legs, and those floors are so cold. So I got myself a pair of slippers, which I don't have them here because I already showed you. And I got this mug, which I had to have because of the bear story I just told you. It's New Hampshire fast food. I saw this and I'm like, oh yeah, I have to have this. Those are memories being made. And I found this, they had little ones like just for putting your tea bags on or a teaspoon. And then I saw these bigger ones. I thought I'd put it on my stove, for putting spoons on. They're just little dishes, those little kind of used for all different things dishes. And they had cats and they had dogs. Of course, you know me, I got to have the cat. I'm the cat lady. Whoops. Trying to get the glare out. Yeah. They had all different colors, and I was trying to find something that looked as much like Molly as I could. Because they all had the little tiger tabby cat things on the side, except for one was a black cat. I almost got it. I go either way with black cats. Sometimes I'll see something that's a black cat and I'll want it because it's almost like a nod to Nigel. And then other times I'll look at them and I don't want them because they make me sad. And I don't know what the difference is, but for some reason I swing either way. And they had one that was a black cat and I just couldn't buy it. I figured, let me get one that looks more like Molly. And they didn't have one that had like all her colors in it. But this one I grabbed because Molly, even though she's a brown tabby, which I know a lot of people call them tiger cats, but technically those are tabby cats. I think one of her parents may have been an orange tabby because she has, like, her tummy has a lot of burnt sienna in it. A couple of spots here and there on her does, even though she's primarily brown. And even at the very tip of her nose has a tinge, not just a spot of it, but it's almost like a tinge of it. So this was the closest thing because it's almost like that. This isn't really burnt sienna, but it's very close to, it reminds me of that. So I grabbed this one. It's so cute. I'm going to put it on my stove for spoons or whatever, when you're cooking and you just put them down. And I got some coasters. I just bought 3 because I keep a coaster on my work desk, on this desk here where my own laptop is, and on my coffee table, because those are the 3 places I sit down, usually with a drink. So I got in my workroom, I guess it's become my office at this point. I got the Raven. I liked the Raven. Raven, crow crow. I don't know why I'm saying raven. That's clearly a crow because see how the, But anyways, I like that. And then for out here in the living room, I have this paw for my desk here. And then I got this cat, black cat. See, this one was okay. I don't understand what's going on in my mind. What makes it okay and not okay? But it's you could say it's a black cat, or it could be a silhouette of a cat. So and this is going on my coffee table. Yeah, this is on my coffee table, and the paw is for this desk. What are you doing? Claw is my chair. I got to cut her claws this weekend too. So that's all I got. I did look at the hoodies and sweatshirts and things like that because I do love grabbing those. God, I don't need any more. But I didn't see anything that jumped out at me, so I didn't get anything. I'm trying to get more t-shirts than hoodies now. I mean sweatshirts. I don't do a lot of t-shirts because I'm not a summer clothes person. I like the cold weather. So if there's a t-shirt, a sweatshirt, or something I like, I try to lean towards the sweatshirt, a hoodie, or even a long sleeve tee, the lighter ones for the fall even. But t-shirts, I just kind of wait for summer to be over as soon as it starts. But anyway, that's what I got. Tomorrow I'm going blueberry picking. And a couple of years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, I was there and I got a jersey. A little thicker than a sweatshirt, but lighter than a t-shirt, but lighter than a sweatshirt, but it was long sleeve. Palais Farms, and it's kind of that, I don't know if you would want to call it faded red or just kind of a dark, dusty pink kind of. You guys have seen it. I wear it a lot in the cool weather. I love it. It's comfortable and I love it. So I'm going back there, and I think if they still sell them, which I think they do, I'm going to grab another one in another color because I really like that. So anyway, this is long enough. I've been talking for 34 minutes, and that's going on top of already almost a half hour, I think it was. I don't know. I don't see it now. So I'm going to upload this, and then I'm going to put together the one, which I think is going to be a lot smaller. I put all the clips together that I made while I was reading my book, and then I'm going to talk just a little bit about it and put that up. So I was originally going to just put up my book video and then put my little trip video at the end of it, but this turned out to be bigger than I thought, so I'll do them separate. Anyway, you don't need to know that. I'm going. I had fun. It was nice. Yeah. Stay groovy.